Yo, welcome people. Okay, so is Hannah Gadsby funny? That's what we're about to find out today. Is Hannah Gadsby funny? So Hannah Gadsby is somebody who I guess I've heard of, but I'm not really familiar with any of these. I've not seen any of her comedy specials or any kind of comedy of hers before. I guess I've seen the image pop up in my Netflix recommends, but just never really bothered with it. So I don't know what style of comedy she is. Or I mean, I kind of know because I've read a little bit, but I don't really know because I haven't seen or heard any of it, right? But Dave Chappelle put out his video, and part of his criteria for meeting with the transgender community is that they have to admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. And then I did see this video on YouTube where a guy was talking about the Dave Chappelle thing, and he played a clip from a Hannah Gadsby special, which I think is this one that we're about to watch now. I think it didn't actually say. And when I heard it, I was not laughing at all because it seemed very harrowing to me, actually, what she was talking about. It seemed very, very disturbing. But the people in the crowd, the audience, were laughing their asses off. Now, a few things to consider. The person who played the clip, I imagine most likely picked a clip deliberately that wasn't funny because that was kind of the gist of the video. And, the clip is out of context, so perhaps the people in the audience were laughing because there was something that happened before that meant this harrowing thing she was talking about now has some humor to it. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, if indeed, however, this clip was how it seems to me, then gonna have something to say about that. But anyway, is Hannah Gadsby funny? This is called Douglas. This is a Netflix special. It is an hour and 12 minutes long. It was released in 2020. It is rated 15 and over. So if you are 14 and younger, then yeah, sorry dude, you can't watch this one. But all right. So anyway, let's press play. See what Hannah Gadsby gotta say. I like this song. This song's pretty cool. I don't think I've heard it before, but it sounds pretty cool. It sounds very like 1940s-ish. Like the Andrews Sisters, that sort of thing.
What the fuck are you expecting from this show?
I haven't seen the net, but
drama. I'm fresh out. That's how I'm going to meet your expectations. By adjusting them for you now. This is my difficult second album. That is also my 10th and some people's first. This is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think I know that feeling.
Making fun of Americans is still technically punching up, although that window is closing.
I'm not a fan of the term punching up, but hey, I've got to give props to that use of it.
What I call a gentle and very good-natured needling of the patriarchy. It's very important that you expect that because it is there, and if that's not your thing, leave.
If you're still watching, yeah, it's on you.
Now, if in that bit you find yourself offended by anything I say in the joke section, please just remember they are just jokes.
If it's in the joke section and you feel offended, just remember it's just jokes. Said by Hannah Gadsby herself.
It happens very late in the show. So late you will have forgotten that I told you to expect a Louis C.K. joke. Which means you'll laugh like this. Oh.
She's set it up quite nicely. She's talking a good game. But can she deliver?
Expectations have been set, so the show starts now.
Alright, let's go. Talks it up pretty nicely, but alright.
In Australia, we shorten petroleum to petrol.
Yeah, we say petrol over here too.
A lot deeper into the hat of imagination because you've shortened it to gas. By its very fucking definition, is that it is not a liquid.
This is gonna sound a bit nitpicky, and yeah, I get it, because gas is not a liquid, of course. But gas, as how Americans use, is actually short for gasoline. So yeah, there you go.
I will not say sweater.
Jumper.
I will be saying jumper.
Yeah.
And not what you call a biscuit, which is what I call a rogue scone.
Yeah, she says scone. It's actually scone. That's a big thing. Scone or scone? Scone. It's scone. Scone. Okay. Scone.
And y'all? Oh, yes, please. Thanks all y'all for y'all.
Y'all is pretty cool, though, to be fair. I like y'all.
I'm in two minds about Fanny.
Yeah, Fanny needs something else over here.
Yeah, Fanny is your butt. You like like to play with them. That is your bag and your bag alone. But how would you like it if we'd have given you Karen's handful? You know, they're the ones who go out of their way to let me know that Nanette was not comedy. Secondly, yes, I turned the laugh tap off myself. It was a decision I stand by. What I did with Nanette was not technically comedy. And if that meant I had to trick people, that's technically a joke.
So I'm guessing the clip that I heard that guy playing the video is probably from Nanette and not this one, but oh well, it is what it is. Maybe I'll check out Nanette some other time.
But to this day, I still get men sliding into my DMs to let me know, in all caps, that they've never heard of me. A monologue. A glorified TED Talk. Uh-oh. A one-woman show. A lecture. A fucking lecture. Can you believe that one?
I mean, technically, any sort of stand-up comedy show is a monologue because it's like one person, monologue. I mean, I know it's not what we typically call a monologue, but, you know, technicality, sort of. Any stand-up show, any stand-up comedy show, at least, well, most stand-up comedy shows would technically be a monologue. And yeah, kind of glorified TED Talk as well. So I'm just saying. Those descriptions, I would say they probably apply to most stand-up comedies. Just saying.
Well, others argue it began in 1500. Either way, Donatello was fucking dead. Pythagoras, he's busy naming all the triangles. That's a cute one. I have autism. It's a tiny monologue. I mean, sure, I've been vaccinated, but other than that, a baby dyke just asked if she was allowed to eat the box.
Oh, okay. Took a while, but okay.
Isn't it weird that the cello has been invented, but not the music stand? This man is in Slytherin. That baby could be on the box. He could be beside the box. He could be a fucking penguin. It's also the first known portrait of...
Well, Hannah Gadsby, Douglas. Well, you know what? I would say that I liked that. I think it's pretty clear by my reaction. I liked it. Was it funny? I mean, yeah, I would say overall it was pretty funny. There were definitely parts where it wasn't, but then I think by her own introduction and set it up, I guess, well, very, very deliberate. To make it that way. But you know what? You got to give credit where credit's due. That made me laugh. Some of the laughs were like, some of the laughs were a bit more. And it's kind of one of these things where, you know, are you giving away too much? Are we still going to laugh if you tell us all right now? You know, because you went on quite long in the beginning without that introduction. It worked, you know, it works. I think she got some laughs in there. She made some points, you know, what she said about men and not handling hormones, I think is spot on for a lot of us. Truth be told, I think a lot of us don't handle our hormones that well. And that's evidence in the way we respond to things. And it's true. I think it's true that a lot of the times, you know, society isn't really set up to prepare us for a lot of things because we're kind of told to, you know, walk it off, shake it off, or, you know, suck it up and that kind of thing. We're not really dealing with what we're feeling, you know. It's still in many places like a taboo thing to talk about, you know, struggling mental health and, you know, emotional things like that for guys. So yeah, I think what she said about that was pretty spot on. The question is Hannah Gadsby funny? Based on this one show, I'm gonna say yes. I think that was very funny. I think she made some good points. I think she had some good laughs from there, some good jokes, some good setups. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm gonna say she is funny. As for the net comedy, apparently that's purposefully not funny, so that is what it is. But this one, at the very least, Douglas, I laughed. So yeah, big up Hannah Gadsby on this. There's definitely a few jabs in there, you know, jabs in there about men and the not all men movement. And I don't know, I mean, that sounds like it's probably true. I'm not going to comment too much about that because I generally stay out a lot of that sort of stuff. But I do feel like it does seem like a pointless rebuttal, because often when we speak in general terms. It just feels like we don't need to say, well, not all this, not all that. Of course, like, we speak in general terms. Like, for example, if I was to say something like, you know, I don't like pop music or something like that, I feel like it doesn't necessarily mean you don't like every single pop song that was ever made. Just as a general, you don't necessarily listen to pop music. But I think we kind of understand that. And maybe that was a bad example, I don't know. But the point is, I think just a lot of times we usually speak in general terms. So when somebody says, you know, men are trash or men are this, I feel like it's kind of already implies that, of course, they're not talking about all men. At least that's how I just take it anyway. That being said, I know there are people out there who would specifically say things like all men are this and very much mean all men are that. And yeah, maybe in those circumstances, it's like, hey, dude, chill. Maybe you need to adjust your viewpoints on life. Just because you've been treated a certain way, that's a shame, but doesn't necessarily mean that every single person like that. And maybe in those circumstances. But a lot of times when people are just talking, I feel like we often in our just general speech, it's just very general. So a lot of times I just feel like it doesn't necessarily need to be brought up, you know, because it's somewhat just implied in the way we speak anyway. But hey, like I said, I usually stay out of those conversations, so what do I know? Anyway, but yeah, I enjoyed this, Hannah Gadsby Douglas. Like I said, I hadn't really heard of her before, at least not in any real way. I'm sure I've seen the name somewhere, but just wasn't paying attention to it, but then what was she saying? I ain't fucking heard of you. Maybe not quite like that. I wasn't in her DMs like that, but it's just in general, I don't think I've paid that much attention to the name. I've probably seen it around. I'm pretty sure I've seen this image pop up in the Netflix feeds, but yeah, again, just not really paying attention to it. So I'm not familiar with her work. I haven't really heard anything of her before this. So yeah, pretty much all new to me. And yeah, you know, I enjoyed it. So yeah, big up Hannah Gadsby. I'm gonna have to check out the net and guess be prepared to not laugh on that one. But anyway, yeah, so let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of Douglas if you've seen it. I'll say check it out if you haven't. Drop any recommendations, suggestions in the comments, send them through and I'll see what I can do. Like, share, subscribe, because we're doing this thing. Yeah, get me fam. Check out my other channels as well. Be much appreciated. But that's gonna be it for the minute. So guys, until whenever, if ever, peace.